and welcome back to my channel. Now, some of the most popular videos on my channel are those about ships, and I know you've all been asking for another update, especially for the Arizona. Now, that will come tomorrow. There definitely will be an update tomorrow. Got it all worked out. Okay, but tonight, I'm going to show you something else. Now, I have quite a few ships in the stash, right? And I will be building those in the near future. There's been a bit of a break this year. This year's been a bit quiet, but we're catching up now, back to speed, and I'll explain more about that tomorrow when I talk in depth about the fate of the Arizona. Yeah, enough of that. For now, there's been a lot of requests about a little ship that I made. The Tomato up there, right? Hang on. There we go. Fingers pointing to it now. This Tomato, right? I've got a whole bloody string of these things. They're Chibi-Maru or something. I probably pronounced that wrong. But they're basically egg boats, and they are a barrel of fun, but they're also great mules for testing weathering techniques and just trying out a few things so that when you actually go to build a serious big ship, and that's a lot of work, as anybody who builds ships knows, it's a lot of work. It's a bit more than armour in your bloody aeroplanes, I can tell you. Except for some of those really full-on detailed big planes. I know you guys spend a lot of time with them. But ships have a lot of things that need doing that are peculiar to them. You've got a lot of sub-assemblies. You build up in layers, and there's just rigging and barrels and all kinds of things that go on. And your weathering, well, it's subtle because your scales are enormous, you know, 700 scale, 350 scale. You can weather, but you have to be so subtle to get the effects. Anyhow, the Tomato, well, I built one. And what I did was I applied all the same principles that I do to my large ships to this. In fact, this was a test of could you just spray Stoneres and then weather and end up result. That is 100% Stoneres. I haven't used any other paint whatsoever. Oh, I tell you why. There's a bit of silver there on the searchlights, and there's a tiny splodge of gold there on that front emblem and the of course the props, right? Don't get gold stories. But the principle is the hull, the superstructure, the deck, basically everything else is Stoneres. Yeah, it's just a bloody primer. That was the idea. Could you just prime it, put it together, weather it, and would you get an effect that looked like a real battleship? And I knocked this up, and I really, I had a lot of fun doing it. And then as a joke, I put it up on the Facebook page for Plastic Ships and Boats. And they're a bit sort of serious there. Oh, they're not ultra serious, but those guys had sort of rules, no joke stuff, I think they might have even said no egg boats, And I put it up as a bit of a joke, expecting, I know the guy who runs it, expecting them just to kick it off, So you go, Barry, you bloody idiot. And no, they put it on the banner. In fact, they were so taken with what I had done to this tiny little egg boat, as I said, I'd applied all the principles and all the techniques that you would for a larger ship. In fact, I was exploring some new ideas when I did this. And because of that, they put it on the banner. And they said, there you go, even a silly egg boat can come up looking pretty interesting. So anyhow, how about I go through a kit, because actually that's another one. Where's my arm? That's another one. That's a complete kit. I've already built this one, but I had two of them. I picked up the first one for a shekel. Only bloody $7.50 US, $10 Australian. Work out the rest yourselves. Yes, get the shekel conversion chart. And I had a shekel's worth of fun, that's for sure. So I got given some others, and I bought a few, and I ended up with a second Tomato. So I'll go through the kit so you can actually see what there is, because quite frankly, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. You'll see the quality of these egg builds is quite surprising. And therefore, you can apply and do things with them. I mean, there was a case of a guy in one of the shows took an egg aeroplane, a jet or something, and he put a whole PE set, a 172 PE set of the cockpit interior in, and then did the whole, like I've done with the boat, the whole weather and wash and detail and everything, put it in the show, won bloody first prize, because everyone was blown away, because he'd done the work, he did the detail, it didn't matter that it was distorted out of proportion, as a bit of a joke. It was a model, and it was expertly put together. Well, I don't know if mine are expert, but I put a lot of time and trouble into them, and I really enjoy doing them. Anyhow, enough waffling about bloody eggs. Let's have a look at the kit and the instructions for this egg boat, and then I'll get on with the build, and then we'll do some final reveal pickies. Well, final show, the launch, the, smash your bottle over. No, smashing bottles over. All right, shut up, Harry. Get on with it. here is the kit. So what do you get for your whole shekel? Well, actually, they cost a little more if you order them overseas. You probably pay 3 shekels for one, would be a delivery price all the way from Japan. But yeah, you can pick them up secondhand for a shekel. Lovely little box. You get a bit of box art, you know, this is what you could do with it. Could look there snappy. Same there. And again, you get some more little photos on the side there. So it gives you an idea of what you're up against. I actually didn't paint those little white blast bags, I suppose they are. I didn't do those in mine, but you could. They actually come in the kit of stickers, as you'll see in a sec. So let's have a look inside the box. Everything you'll find is in bags and in its own bag, right? So, you know, it's quite good. It's almost like, you know, those bloody Star Wars kits you get from Bandai. Everything's wrapped in its own individual bags. Care is taken with it, and you get all the little stickers. Right, they're a bit shiny. The only thing I used was the flag. Basically, I didn't worry about the rest. I painted my searchlights and I painted my deck. And those are the blast bags. You want to put those on. And there's some radar covers and there's a cover for the funnel and everything. So you could use the stickers, but I chose to paint mine and just use the flag. So that's that. So thank you, Mr. Fujimi, but I didn't need them. The instructions are pretty simple, really. I'll do those first. There's not much to it. It's all in this character set, which I assume is Japanese. And you get some colour callouts. Those will be they're Mr. Colours usually. So well, it could be Humbrals with the H's. But I mean, it's pretty obvious. Deck tan, matte black, hull red, battleship grey. If you don't know that, if you're building boats, well, you've got a problem. And then you get into your actual building part of it, which is a big long. It's a big long thing, right? So we'll do it in sections. So they give you basically the paint elevation, although it's sort of wrong there because your deck, I've made my deck tan. You could make your deck grey if you wanted to, but I've made my deck tan. And starts with some very simple stuff. Very simple stuff to do. Well, there's a little don't cut, don't bend, you know, whatever. Do all the right stuff. But once you actually get the instructions, it's very clear. You don't need to have any words. It doesn't matter that it's another language because basically it's very clear as to how all the parts go together. And you get some nice little blocks in there to strengthen up the hull, and that helps put on the upper part of the hull. And of course, you could go waterline with this. That's I think there's an option in one of the photos. You could not worry about the lower hull and waterline it, which you know, if you want to do that, make a whole fleet of the bloody things. Have some war games, egg warship games. So the best part is that with everything being separate, that's what I sort of cotton on. I could paint all these parts, the individual colours. And the only thing I'd have to worry about is the deck. A little bit of hand painting there on the deck. So they have to put the sticker on, which you could do. But I ended up hand painting all that and got all the detail happening that way. So that's not too bad. And then you've got your guns, and there's, you know, make so many of these, make so many of those. It's all pretty obvious. And then you get down to put your screws on, and your rudder. Oh dear, tired. It's been a big day. Yes, bear with me. So I ended up sort of building up most of that minus the screws. So I had the bottom of the hull all red before I even assembled everything together, so I could then paint it all hull red. And then over the page, you don't get colour for some reason the second page of these. I don't know why, but that's how they do it. Then you've got all the superstructure to do. So you've got, just like a normal ship, you've got all the things to build up. You've got even a little sticker there for all those little windows there, which is like command room and observation post, that sort of thing. And you put in all the sub-assembly guns that you've built, you know, just like you do on a real boat. It's all the same. And then your big guns go in, and there's your sub-assembly there for the funnel, same sort of thing. And you're building your masts, and then it all comes together in the end. Your superstructure, upper superstructure, and your funnel and your masts and your your rear rangefinder there. It all goes in, just like on a real boat. Yes. And then finally you're on with your masts and your catapults for your planes. It can't be any planes, huh? The ship does, and a few of the other egg boats I've got little planes on them. This one hasn't. And then stick your flag on. So there you go. You even get a spray map. I mean, you know, how's that? So that's all there is to it. I mean, it's really, you could probably knock this thing out in a couple of nights, but I mean, I took about a week. It was about a week of fun for me, and thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed doing it. Right, let's have a look at the sprues. I'll quickly cut them out of the bags, because I will build this myself one day. and I'll go through the sprues with you. Here's the first sprue, lower hull, and we're already in that hull red colour, so I mean I just putting this red stynorez on it. I didn't put too thick a coat in it. It actually came up a really nice sort of battleship red, you know, whatever. All the usual, you know, screws are there, that sort of thing. Nothing too sensational, but I mean, that's lower hull. You don't usually get much detail on most ships. So, what are we on about? Now you get, the next layer is the upper part of the hull. And, you know, you can actually, if you want to, drill out your portholes if you're that bloody keen. There's quite a bit of detail there. And you do get to put the little emblem on here. That's part of, you've got to actually put the front part of the deck on. That'll show you that. But fairly simple, but nice. Look how clean it is. There's no flash. There's it's beautifully put, you know, beautifully moulded. And the best part is this stuff all clicks together. I mean, you could build this without any cement, but I did. I cemented it all up so it didn't fall apart. So there we go. And here's your deck. So the deck actually has, I don't know how close we can get if we can see this. You see the planks? The planks were actually on there, which is why I went, oh, that could take a wash. And it did. It took a wash beautifully. So, and then you even get, you know, the plating in there. So there's surprisingly quite a bit of detail in for a silly little boat. And there's your anchors. Your anchors are quite nice. And this is one of the, it's the top of the foremast there, on that superstructure little part. So that's quite nice. Moving into the, these are your ammunition. These are your AR guns, I think. And this is part of the superstructure here. Well, actually, that's the mounts. They hold all the anti-aircraft guns, and these are your barrels. Everything's sort of separate, so you can paint it up, which is what I did. I painted, you know, painted my barrels black and weathered them up, and most of them are hollow. In fact, even these tiny ones, see, they're hollow. Look at that. How about that? Yeah. Stuff you, Tamia. You hollow out your bloody barrels, lazy buggers. Radar's rather nice, and that took a wash on mine and came up really well. So you know, and even down to the tiniest little armament here, still nice. I don't think those barrels are hollow. No, that's asking too much. But the detail actually quite good, and as good as you expect on a big battleship, really. It's just that this is going into a silly little tiny scale one. Moving right along, we've got another sprue here. And for this one, well, those are those spaces that go in the hull. So it gives it some integrity and a bit of weight. So you could really weight it up. I'm looking at the bottom end of this. So here's your turrets. There's your catapults. Look at them. They're actually quite nice. So they're in detail. And your turrets are what they are. They're a lot of fun. And that's your rear deck where you're going to basically little runways where the catapults are and the aircraft going to go off. And this will be your midships area here. And again, you've got a lovely little metal plate texture, and everything's, you know, it's very nice. What it is, it's actually quite nice. That's why I thought, gee, there's potential with this. And here's your last sprue. And here you've got the very fine detail for the mast. And back here, this would probably be a radar mast, I suppose. That sort of funny arrangement. And all of it's fairly accurate to how the ship is, just the scale is all distorted. And that's your front superstructure. And there's your arms where your signals hang off, I think. That's what you call them. Searchlights. See, they were quite nice as they were, and that's why I thought, oh, I can put some silver in and give them a wash. And again, your barrels, and look, they're all hollow. Look at them. All of them are hollowed out. You don't need metal barrels with this kit. It's already done for you. Good on you, Fujimi. So there you are. So that's basically it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprues. So, you know, it's nearly as much material as a 1-700 kit in some ways. So there is a bit of work to do, and it's all a barrel of laughs. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed putting this together. So let's do that now. I'll show you a little bit of a slideshow now of some of the steps that I went through putting it together. So I started by painting the sprues, the colours that they needed to be. And luckily it divided up nicely. I put the Steiner's red on that one sprue and the yellow on the deck sprue, and there you go. And then it was just a matter of assembling, and everything was pre-painted. It was so easy. And then I hand painted the screws with a bronze colour using metallic paint, and that all went together beautifully. The deck then went in. I did have to do a little bit of grey painting around where the turrets went to detail that, but basically everything else was just the colours that I'd already painted them on the sprues. And there's all those little turrets. They're so cute, all hollowed out barrels. It's hilarious, really. And then all in went all the secondary guns and the anti-aircraft, and it started to really look like a battleship. It was quite snappy. There it is. That's it. Assembled. Easy as that. The only thing I did was I painted that top section of the funnel there matte black, and that was about the only thing I strayed from. So that was it. It was basically built, and all the colours were blocked in. Next was to make it look pretty, and there you go. A wash and some weathering, and boy, it started to come alive. It really started to pop. And so, you know, the deck, you can see there the deck really starts to show, and all the AA guns and everything, and the radars. And kept working, kept adding more rust and more effects, and putting the silver on the searchlights. That really made it pop alive. Then out with the easy line, added some rigging, and that was sort of a final touch that I put to it. Said I might plan to put a bit of railing on it, but there you go. That's what she looks like. So there you have it. That's how you build an egg boat. Yes, the same principles apply, and it's just like building another boat. It's a bit quicker, with less parts, but you still get a result. Well, you can, if you do what I did. Crazy as bloody me. And as I said, that was done with Steiner's. So that was a way to test. Could you just paint the Steiner's on and then run a wash? You've got to paint the upper hull and Steiner's and the deck. I didn't use the sticker that comes with it. I just basically painted that, and then I weathered and washed it. And no chipping, because it's a ridiculous scale. I mean, this is, by its absurd scale. It'll be something like 1/500 or 1/800 or something stupid. But even then, it's impossible. It's all squashed. See? It looks like the bloody thing's run up the arse of another boat. Look, they're just fun. The egg stuff is fun. Don't discount it. It's a good way to burn off some steam and have a little bit of fun. And then you can still do things. I mean, I did the rigging on this one. Okay, so I haven't done much ship rigging. I must admit, the ships are booked before I used to just, put a bit of PE on and stuff like that. But I always shy off doing the rigging. Hadn't been really sort of keen on the whole rigging thing. But now there's this new bloody easy line stuff. And I tell you what, it is freaking easy. It really is. So I might do a video on that later on. I'll explain more tomorrow night with Arizona as to what options we've got with ships coming up. But yeah, I'll probably do a rigging video, and I'll probably do a PE rails video, and all the things I do on ships. I'll probably do some little how-tos, and we'll do some builds, and there's a lot to happen. Yes, I've got to get this bloody stash out the way. Can't bloody keep buying kits the way I am. Got to build some of the bastards. All right, well, that's the tomato. So we'll go out now with a little bit of a slideshow of some pics so you can see in detail exactly what I did with a silly little egg boat. Yes, it put a big smile on my face. So do one. Cheer you up too. Yes, if you've been struggling with your modelling, you're stuck, if you've got bench-itis, if you've got modeller's block, you might need to do an egg thingy. I've said this before. They are a barrel of fun. They don't cost much, and you just laugh and smile while you're doing it, and your mojo's back before you know it. Yes, bloody mojo. Goodness me, got to have your mojo. All right, well, here's a slideshow, and I'll say goodbye from Australia, and hooroo for Harry Houdini.